In this example, you see how to calculate and record an unrealized gain or loss on a foreign currency transaction. Let's use a similar example to part 1. So here's another bill from Nihon Teku, our Japanese supplier. The bill date was the 1st of October and it's for 200,000 yen. So I've entered the bill in Xero for £1,005.14. And here's the bill. So that's what we've entered in Xero. The calculation was 200,000 yen at this exchange rate. And I got the exchange rate again from xe.com, just looking at the 1st of October here. So you can see that was the exchange rate. This time, the bill remains unpaid at the end of the period. Let's say the end of the period is end of October. At the 31st of October, the bill was worth £987.50. So what I owe to my supplier has gone down, which means there's an unrealized gain of £17.64. We need to record this unrealized gain in our profit and loss report and restate the amount we owe to our suppliers in the balance sheet. So to do this, I'm going to post a journal, but in Xero you can't post directly to accounts payable, so I'm going to show you how I would do it. It's pretty straightforward. Let's jump into Xero. So our journal that we need to post is £17.64. So in Xero, let's go to accounting and manual journals and new journal. Give it a narration, so let's just call it gain on Nihon Teku bill. And we're posting this journal at the end of that accounting period, which is the 31st of October. I don't want this journal showing on any cash basis reports. Now, I want to debit accounts payable, but you can't post a journal directly to accounts payable. So what I'll do is I'll create a new account that we can journal to, and then when we look at our balance sheet, I'll group it together with accounts payable, so the correct figure displays as one line on my balance sheet. So, sounds complicated, it's really straightforward. Let's create an account to post this to. I'll add a new account. Now the account type is going to be a current liability, same as accounts payable. Give it a code. I'm going to call this increase or decrease in creditors due to foreign exchange transactions. So enter an account code. A code can be numbers or letters. Let's call this increase or decrease in accounts payable. I'd probably write a bit of a longer account name or put something else in the description. I'll just keep it nice and quick here. And the gain is £17.64. So with posting a debit to our accounts payable, £17.64, that's going to reduce the amount I owe my suppliers. And then I want to post the credit to unrealized gain on foreign exchange transaction. Now, again, we're going to need to create an account for that unrealized gain or loss. So let's add a new account. I'll use expense so it sits in my P&L. Again, give it a code. Use letters or numbers. I'll make it easy to remember here. Give it a name. We'll call this unrealized gain or loss on foreign currency transactions. There's no tax on this. And save. And here's our journal. So we're going to debit that adjustment to accounts payable. We're going to credit the gain on our profit and loss and post. Okay, great, that's done. Let's take a look at the P&L and the balance sheet. So I'll open up reports. Let's look at the P&L first. And you can see here's our unrealized gain or loss. So it's in brackets, so we know it's a negative expense, so it's a gain. So £17.64, that's recorded correctly at the end of October. Let's have a look at our balance sheet. Need to do a little bit of work on our balance sheet. And I'll run this balance sheet at the end of October. So here you can see the accounts payable, we haven't touched that, 6374.44, but we've got a decrease in accounts payable. So what's on my balance sheet is correct, but looks a little bit ugly. I'd like to group that into one line. So I'm going to edit the layout. And let's scroll down. Here's our creditors due within 1 year. I'll select accounts payable. And I'm looking for that decrease in AP. Here it is. So select both of those and we'll group those selected accounts. And give it a name. I'm just going to call this accounts payable. Don't want to use cap locks. So on my balance sheet, under creditors due within 1 year, we've got a subtotal for accounts payable, or a subgroup, and then we can see accounts payable decrease with a total. I don't want it shown like this, I just want to see it as one line. We'll collapse that group and update the layout. And there you can see our updated accounts payable figure, which includes that unrealized gain on foreign currency transactions. So that's how you can account for any unrealized gains or losses. When you finally pay the bill, you'll need to reverse that journal to remove the unrealized gain and account for the realized gain. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out here. I'll put a link to it at the end and in the description. So as you can see, you can account for foreign currency transactions even if you don't have the multi-currency feature. So maybe that's okay if you've got 1 or 2 transactions each period, but if you regularly have foreign currency transactions, paying extra for the multi-currency plan in Xero is well worth it, as Xero does all of those calculations automatically. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.